Powered by Riverside FM.
Man, the 2024 season was just one of those seasons, man, where there wasn't a whole lot of expectations going into the season. I remember when the Minnesota Vikings were looking for a quarterback, everybody was speculating who it is. Some people got it right. Some people thought it would be Sam Darnold, and it turned out to be Sam Darnold. And in comes Sam Darnold. In comes J.J. McCarthy. Battle in training camp. J.J. McCarthy gets hurt. Sam Darnold for sure is QB1. And then the thing just takes off, man. The thing just takes off to the note of a 14-3 team entering the playoffs. Sam Darnold, in a lot of circles, was in the conversation for MVP. We all know that. That was just kind of shocking from a guy that had been holding the clipboard a year ago in San Francisco. Now, all of a sudden, MVP conversation, hadn't done anything in North Carolina, hadn't done anything with the New York Jets. For all intents and purposes, washed up. All of a sudden, he enters 14-3, and then we go into that playoff game. Well, first, I probably should say the last game of the season of the Detroit Lions really didn't show up. All of that going into that game, 14-2, have a chance for a number one seed in the playoffs to play at the heralded U.S. Bank Stadium in front of our fans. Go. Didn't get that done against the Detroit Lions. Then we're on the road against the Rams. Didn't get it done. And then you look at the whole body of work. You can't disparage it. Sam Darnold did a pretty good job. KOC did a pretty good job with Sam Darnold. But you knew that there was something, UP Nation. You knew that there was something. KOC knew that there was something. In those two games, it wasn't just the losses. I think it was just the mental breakdown and the folding of tent that kind of irked the Minnesota Vikings organization. Now, I know that there's going to be a lot of national pundits out there that are going to talk about the Minnesota Vikings wanted Sam Darnold over J.J. McCarthy, and they offered him a contract, man, but the Minnesota Vikings were not serious about bringing Sam Darnold back. You know it, I know it, and the American people know it. There's no way they were going to bring Sam Darnold back. If Sam Darnold, they lowballed Sam Darnold. If Sam Darnold came back and said, hey, Minnesota Vikings, I will play for you for $1, the Minnesota Vikings would not have had him back. The game plan was to go on to J.J. McCarthy, especially after those two games. Did you see Sam Darnold finally spoke out about that playoff game? And I'm going to read the quote from Sam Darnold, and credit to Sam Darnold. This interview was conducted by The Athletic's Mike Silver this past week. And Sam Darnold had an interesting quote. He said, I think for me personally, that sucks. I feel like we were a really good team, but at the end of the day, and it's going to sound a little pessimistic, Sam Darnold says, but when you get to the end of it and you don't win the whole thing, you fail. I feel like I could have played way better, to completely be honest with you. I feel like I didn't play up to my standard. I truly feel that way. I feel like I would have just loved to have played better. I would have been able to give the team a chance to win. Big ups to Sam Darnold. Big ups. It takes a lot for especially people that play the quarterback position in the NFL to take accountability, especially with the season that he had. He didn't throw the offensive line under the bus. He really didn't throw the lack of a running game under the bus. He really didn't say the defense couldn't get timely stops. I mean, he's in Seattle. He could have said a lot of different things. But the one thing that he said is, hey, I laid an egg, basically. I could have played better. I didn't play up to my standard. And I thought that was big as Sam Darnold because, man, I've seen interviews with players that have left teams where now they feel like they are free to say any and everything about the coaching staff, about the players on the other side of the ball. Now, I know he figures, well, I got to play. I got to play the purple later on this year. So he doesn't want to rattle the cage too much. But the one thing Sam Darnold has never had is character issues. And so my hat goes off to Sam Darnold. I wish he could have played better. He got his bag. I think he lost a lot of money in those last 2 games, but he's got his bag, and he should be nothing but grateful to the Minnesota Vikings, especially KOC, for giving him that opportunity to come in and play quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings. Now, this is where this quarterback thing is so important. And again, there are some people that like to put things in the comments, and I love it, man. I love to debate, but this is why the whole J.J. McCarthy thing is just not overblown. Because as good of a season as Sam Darnold had last year, man, to get that out of that dude last year, MVP conversation, throwing the ball all over the place to Addison, T.J. Hockenson, Justin Jefferson, man, the dude had a great year, except for the middle 2 games versus the Lions and the Rams, and the last 2 games versus the Lions and the Rams. He just didn't come through. And this is why the mind of a champion is so important. Sports psychology, man, is 90% of it. A lot of these dudes in the NFL were the best players on their high school teams, were the best players on their college teams. To get drafted into the NFL, when you play quarterback in the NFL, man, you have to have some sort of a resume. So the physical tools don't tell the whole story. There's been lots of quarterbacks that have come into the league that have the physical tools, bruh. Strapping guys, 6'4", guys that can throw the ball 60, 70 yards in the air in the NFL. But the most important attribute that you have to have in the league is you got to have it up here. You got to have it up here. When adversity hits, you have guys in your face. You have guys on the other side of the defensive line trying to get at you. Things don't go well. You've got to have guys that can fortify through. Look at some of the great quarterbacks in the league, man. Some of the best, some of the elite. It hasn't always been cotton candy and roses during their runs to championships. They've had to go through some stuff. They've had to be able to step in and make plays. It's not about the 4,000 yards a season. It's not about the 40 touchdowns. It's not about that. It's not about putting up those stats, UP Nation, Purple Gang, Skull Nation. It's about those guys in those moments that can fortify and go through. And this is one of the attributes that I think J.J. McCarthy has. I mean, he's proven it, hasn't he? Every stop. You think when he played at IMG Academy that there wasn't obstacles to get through? I know at Michigan, Harbaugh being suspended, the whole cheating scandal, you didn't think that he had adversity to get through? Man, this dude just has a proven track record of that, UP Nation. You can't argue that. You can argue, well, he didn't throw much. Well, he didn't come from a passing system. But you can't argue that he's had things that he's had to overcome as a player and find a way to get around them, get through them, whether it's not having his coach in big games, whether it's coming back from being down double digits in games at Michigan, or stopping a winning streak against my guys at Ohio State. Like, that is an attribute that you want in individuals on your team, especially at quarterback. And this is where Sam Darnold has continuously come up short. And my guess is, even though he got the bag at Seattle, I think he's going to regress from what he was in Minnesota with KOC. But I do think he's going to have a pretty okay year. But in those big moments, Seattle is going to really realize what they have and what they've signed up for. Because It's those big moments that create legacy. It's those big moments that creates elite quarterbacks. It's those big moments where you get your kudos. And I think rather than focusing on, well, is he going to throw for 4,000 yards or is he going to throw for 40 touchdowns? Can he replicate what Sam Darnold did last year? I hope he doesn't replicate what Sam Darnold did last year. I hope in those big moments, like the Lions games and the Rams games, that thing that's inside J.J. McCarthy rises to the surface. In those big moments, to be able to come up big. That's where we're different, UP Nation, Skull Nation. That's where we're different. This has been Unconventional Playbook. Please hit that like and subscribe button, man. It just takes a second. Just look down there, click it, and we will continue to bring the content that I love to bring. Purple Gang, Skull Nation, UP Nation. Just love it. Kudos to Sam Darnold, man. This is not throwing any Sam Darnold shade out there, but the body of work is the body of work of what it was last year. And credit to Sam Darnold for stepping up to the plate and taking accountability, saying he didn't play up to his standard. He could have played better. This has been Unconventional Playbook, man. As always, we will make sure to see you when we see you. Skol.